New season, new settings. Season 1 is here. You guys know how it goes. We always look at those settings every time a new season drops because they mess up the game sometimes. They make it better, they make it worse. Who knows? There's just a lot of different stuff within the game. And finally, hopefully, that packet burst is addressed, because like if you guys are playing on PC and you got packet burst like me, that's kind of wild, man. It was going crazy. But anyways, we're gonna get into some graphic settings, some controller settings, some audio, all that kind of stuff. I actually want to start off with the audio this time. I normally start off with graphics, but audio is so fast, I just want to get it out of the way first. So I put my master volume to 100, and then what I do here is I put gameplay music volume down to 30 so I could hear stuff at the beginning of a round, because if you don't put this lower, you just hear the music for like the first minute of every single game and the last minute of every single game if you're going up to score. And then we got dialogue volume at 70, effects volume at 100, definitely that's footsteps, that's grenades blowing off, that's guns shooting and all that kind of stuff. You want to hear all of those. Voice chat volume I put down to 50. I don't care about hearing people breathing in their mics. Cinematic music volume 100, war tracks volume 100. This is mostly for Warzone, the war tracks. I don't really care about that too much. I don't play Warzone often. Voice chat we got on, we got all lobby, obviously we got all of these things here. Push to talk, I'm recording right now, so it's staying on push to talk. If someone joins my lobby, I don't want them to listen to me recording a video, that's a little awkward. And then pretty much everything else is just pretty basic. I haven't even changed these, those are all what it is, right? So I don't change those at all. Now, we'll go into graphics, because graphics are really important. Then we'll get into controller settings quickly as well. So display doesn't matter. This has to do with my display. Everyone's gonna have a different display. I got a BenQ monitor. It's a 144 hertz. So yeah, whatever. Anyways, let's get into quality. Okay, so my graphic preset I have on custom. I'm doing it myself. Render resolution. This is going to depend on what you guys have as a computer, okay? Or if you're playing on PlayStation and stuff like that, your render resolution, you're normally gonna want to throw this down to 100, okay? You don't want to go higher than that. It's gonna make the game lose frames. You lose a lot more frames and stuff. But because I'm recording videos, I like keeping mine at 120. It makes the game look clearer. It makes everything look nicer. I do sacrifice some frames, but at the end of the day, I got a 144 hertz monitor. If I could still run 144 frames per second while having my render resolution at 120, I'm good to go. I'm fine. So I set mine to 120. You guys could definitely go ahead and lower that. Put it towards 100, maybe even lower to like 95, and you should be good. Everything here, I mean, you guys could just copy those right there. Texture resolution, again, I got this on normal. You guys are going to want to run this on low. Low is going to give you the best looking game for the fastest FPS, okay? So the game's not going to look amazing, but you're going to get a very nice amount of FPS out of it. Normal is going to take away a lot of FPS and not give you much difference between low and normal. But like I said, I'm recording, so I put mine on normal. I just like it better, and it just makes the game look nicer. I like how they actually changed the maps and colors and stuff. Everything just looks nice. The game, this update's going to feel so good. Then my texture filter, anisotropic, is high. We got this on. We got detail quality level high. And again, guys, this, if you could run all of these on the settings that I'm running it on, it's worth having it, because you're gonna get a lot of FPS, but the game's also gonna look amazing. All right, so my on-demand texture streaming, I have it to 64 here, 64 here. Some people might want to set this to 1. If you don't have, I should say, unlimited internet and you got to pay for all of it, don't even turn this on. It's not worth it. But if you could do this, like I have unlimited and I'm pretty quick. My internet's like 1 gig, I think, and stuff like that. So I can run 64. That's no issue for me right there. If you guys have slower internet and not unlimited, just turn it off completely. Local texture streaming quality, normal. Shadow quality, normal. The lower you put this, the uglier the game looks, in my opinion. So I put it to normal. I don't put it too high because it's going to take away a lot of FPS and it's not worth it for shadows. So I keep mine at normal. Screen space shadows high, ambient occlusion both. Screen space reflection normal, high, near, high, and all that kind of stuff. All right, so I mean, you guys could definitely copy that right there. Now I want to go into display quickly here just to show you guys one thing: brightness. And this is really important. All right, a lot of people always ignore brightness. Guys, please, where it says not visible, you actually want to make sure that's not visible. If you put it up like this and that not visible does become visible, your game is going to look washed out. It's going to look very ugly, okay? Now, I'm not saying everybody put it to 55 because everyone's screen is different, but my screen, for example, 55 is where the game looks the nicest. The colors look nice and bright. It looks good, but it's not washed out. So that barely visible, you want it to be actually barely visible. I can even put mine to like 50 and it still works out nicely, but then the easily visible, I like it at 55. So guys, just set it to wherever it actually looks something like this. You know, you want that not visible to be not visible. If this was a Black Ops game, I would say go ahead and crank that all the way to 100. Those games look beautiful at 100, but it's not, guys. Don't put it all the way to 100. Anyways, view right here, my field of view, I play at 110. I used to play at 120, but Not worth it in my opinion. I like getting a little more FPS at 110 or even 105, and I find that nice right there. All these you guys could go ahead and copy me. I'm pretty sure it's default. I don't really think I messed with these. Now world motion blur, turn it off 100%. Weapon motion blur, turn it off 100%. Film grain, set it to 0. First person camera movement, I wish there was a 0 for these. I really do, but you're gonna want to put those to 50. These two right here, and then all of this I think is pretty much default. But these right here, you definitely want these off. They make the game look awful, and if you have world motion blur on and you're moving fast and someone's standing in the window, you might not even see them. It might not even register them standing in the window. Everything's just gonna blur together and it just looks awful, so don't go ahead and do that. Now the last one I want to talk about is controller settings. Controller settings, in my opinion, are pretty important as well, especially if you guys are playing like on a controller like me. If you're playing mouse and keyboard, you guys can end the video right here. I mean, it's kind of useless for you guys, but I play controller. So yeah, I play on a PlayStation 5 controller, a default controller, so I have no back buttons, I have nothing. I just play on a default PlayStation 5 controller. So if you're playing on one of those, this is probably best for you to follow. If you're playing on an Xbox controller, it's still worth following. Now button layout, you guys can see it right there. It's pretty much that's pretty much it. Bumper ping we got off, no need to have that. Now I do have flip L1 and R1 to L2 and R2, and the reason I do this is because L1 and R1 they shoot a little bit quicker, and it just feels more natural for me at least to use the top triggers to shoot and aim and use the bottom triggers for like lethals and tacticals. And that's because I started off on Black Ops 1 with the PlayStation 3 controller. Actually, I started playing on the Nintendo Wii, Black Ops 1, holding the gun and stuff. That was fun. But then I moved over to PlayStation, and yeah, you don't want to use those bottom triggers, at least for me. It doesn't feel right. Stick layout preset we got to default. Controller vibration off, guys. 100% every single time. Turn this off. It feels awkward when it's off the first few games, the first few days actually. It's going to feel awkward off, especially if you played with it on your whole life. But turn it off, man. It's not worth it, all right? Your aim, your accuracy, all that is way better when the vibration is off. Trigger effect off. Dead zone inputs. I'm going to actually have to put my right stick up a little bit, because I do have a little bit of a stick drift, so I'm gonna put it to like around maybe 5. I think that would be all right for me to put it to 5. Yeah, because if you have stick drift, you want to put these higher and stuff. Like my character, if I'm just standing still in the game and this is at 1, he's gonna be moving, he's gonna be looking left and right and stuff like that. So put it up a little bit if you got some stick drift, and you should be good to go. And I just left, oops, my bad. All right, but yeah, that's gonna be it right there for those. Now aiming, horizontal stick sensitivity, I got mine set to 12, vertical 13. Now some people always ask me, why do you have 2 different sensitivities for horizontal and vertical? Horizontal, this is when I'm like tracking people and stuff when they're running away. I like it a little bit lower. Vertical, I want it higher in case I see somebody standing up high somewhere. I want to be able to aim and snap at them pretty quickly, so that's why I do that. But sensitivity, guys, this is something you got to figure out for yourselves, all right? I can't tell you what to put for your sensitivity. If you like putting it low, put it low. If you like putting it high, put it high. Now sensitivity multiplier, this right here, I leave it all at 1. Vertical aim access, again, I leave it all at standard. Don't mess with these too much. I put this down to 90. I think that's default. No, default is 1.0. So yeah, tactical sensitivity, I put down to 90. And this is because it's pretty much hip fire. You want to be accurate and all that kind of stuff. You don't want to be, you don't want to just aim at someone and start missing all your shots. So put it a little bit lower and it should be nice. ADS sensitivity multiplayer at 1, and then pretty much all of these right here I don't think I changed. Now custom per zoom I did change, all right? So if I have low zoom, I have it at 0.90. If I have a 2 to 3 times zoom at 0.85, 4 to 5 times zoom at 0.85, 6 to 7, 8, 8 to 9, 8, and then I got the super high zooms at 0.75. The reason for this is because the more you zoom in, the less screen you could actually see, which means every little movement counts, all right? And if you could control these movements a lot easier by putting this a little bit lower, it's gonna be really nice. Now low zoom, this is like anything 2 or below. 0.90 is nice. You could stick on people nicely. You're not gonna be overshooting your shots. It's just really nice right there, and I recommend that. Then after all that, aim assist type Black Ops. I know some people say Black Ops doesn't work anymore, whatever. I just got used to it, so I play on Black Ops. I like it, all right? The default just feels awkward and off for some reason, so Black Ops just feels nice. That's pretty much it right there for those. Now in gameplay, again, I think pretty much you guys could just, I'm just gonna go through it quickly here. You guys could go ahead and copy it. There's not much to talk about these ones here, but yeah, pretty much that's it. If you guys had this game and you updated it and then you got an error and it told you that you have to reset your stats and stuff, yo, don't worry, man. I have a video up for you guys. I uploaded it earlier today. It's just a simple fix. It's a 1-minute video, guys. It's so easy and you don't have to worry about nothing. Now if you did make it this far into the video, I would appreciate if you guys dropped a like, sub to the channel with those notifications turned on. My name is Nick. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.